not anything that would have to. Emergency evacuation things are a little different because they're not a hotel motel. Hotel motels, those are required, but we put it in here. Um. Most of them do, when they do a B and B, they'll put that on there. This is not part of the. Building code, the property maintenance code doesn't address that, so.
Oh, I called my wife.
She's asking you, but she called you.
You called me. Okay, I answered. Let me get out of the room. Hold on.
We good? Okay, town of Horseheads planning board meeting Wednesday, March 5th, 2025. Call the order at 7:01 PM. Need a motion to accept the minutes of the February 5th, 2025 meeting.
So moved.
Second. Motion in the second. Any further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Joe Atkinson.
Aye.
Al Curran.
Aye.
Ted Nicastro.
Aye.
Angela Hawkins. Aye. Amy Crandall. Aye. Tom Ski.
I am motion carried. There's no old business, those should have been removed off the agenda. And now we're gonna go down to a new business, number 930, Chipotle Restaurant, County Road 64, Southern Tier Crossings. Probably just doing a pre-app conference for a new construction of a new building over there, that's adjacent to Red Robin. We have somebody on from Chipotle.
Yeah, this is Mike Haig, applicant with Quattro Development. Nice to be with all of you tonight.
Good evening.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, very good. Yes, thank you.
Fantastic. Yeah, if you don't mind, I'd like to just kind of jump in with kind of who I am and what we are, and we can go from there. But yeah, as I mentioned earlier, I'm with Quattro Development. My name is Michael Haig. I'm our VP of Development. And we are coming to you all today with a proposed freestanding Chipotle. This is on the parcel. We are the owners of the Red Robin adjacent to the east. And this was kind of an excess parcel that we had purchased in conjunction along with the Red Robin that has been subdivided and is a separate parcel, I believe, of a little bit over 0.8 acres. And yeah, this is, I think we're under construction on 2 Chipotles nationwide currently. We're a build-to-suit developer. They're one of our preferred clients, and they are interested in opening a freestanding location here. As shown on the site plan, this is a proposed 2,364 square foot building. It does have an adjacent or a what they call a Chipotle lane, which is a pickup lane for digital mobile orders. So it's a little bit non-traditional. It's not the same as a kind of a standard drive-through. It's for whether it be an Uber Eats driver who's picking up an order that's been ordered through a phone, or somebody who digitally orders pickup. So they don't have the need for a long queuing area. They typically this is more than enough than what they typically have. At most, they typically have 2 to 3 cars at maximum that are ever queued at one time, even during peak hours, simply because it's mostly for pickup. It's only for pickup, and most customers go to either eat in the store or take away themselves. As proposed, I think one of the things I did want to highlight is on the site plan that I submitted to you all, we are not currently, we show an access point to the Red Robin parcel on the north. We're in negotiations with them for a cross-access easement just to allow interconnectivity, which I think is always desirable when you have adjacent food uses. People might turn in the wrong parking lot, etc. I think cross access is always helpful, but we showed a connection point on the north side of the site, but we have not finalized that yet. We are in negotiations, and we're hopeful that we have that wrapped up certainly before we submit anything formal to the board. But yeah, we just, this is kind of an information gathering session for ourselves. I think if we feel that this is a plan, I mean, Chipotle certainly is excited about this. We've been in close contact with them, and they are excited to hopefully come to your community. And we certainly would like this to be the site and then the development that allows that. But yeah, this is kind of an information gathering session from us, because I think our hope is, if the feedback is positive on this site plan, is we hire a local civil engineer to get us started with kind of formal drawings, so we can come before you with a more concrete set of plans.
Okay, good. This is the last parcel in that whole front parcel, last vacant parcel for that build out there. Surprisingly big enough, I guess, after years, you forget. I was never thought that'd be developed over there because of the size, so.
Yeah. It's an interesting scenario. We actually identified this years ago when we were working with a different tenant. And as we said, this was part of the Red Robin parcel that hadn't been subdivided prior, and it was kind of considered undevelopable. The Red Robin has, various restrictions, and they have the right of first refusal, et cetera. But since we've developed for Red Robin in the past, so we have a close relationship with their team at corporate. So we were able to get to a level of understanding once we were able to purchase their parcel, and then we were their landlord for the site, to then kind of come to an agreement to be able to develop this what was always considered just kind of excess land.
Right. Did Greg tell you about the process at all? Because it's a PUD over there.
Yeah, he did. He mentioned, it would be a PUD amendment, or an amendment to the PUD. So I know there, I have in my notes somewhere, Greg did a nice job of laying it all out, but yeah, I think that's also where we always like to lean on local engineers, and I think the group we're talking to right now actually helped set up the PUD for the entire center. But to help us kind of guide us through the process, just because I always feel that when much closer to the community, you have a better idea of the process in itself.
Right. Yeah, because the town board will take action on the PUD amendment.
Mhm.
And they'll just do the site plan review after they do that approval, so you'll be dealing with the town board and us also.
Now, would we go to the planning board first, recommend, is that like a recommending body, and then to the town board for the PUD amendment, or?
The town board's got to receive the application. They
Okay,
refer it to us to make a recommendation back to the town board. They'll have the public hearing there. They'll do the seeker there also. Short form will be fine.
Yep.
We won't need any traffic studies, because when we did the original project over there, we assumed 100% build out for everything over there. So you really don't need to do any traffic studies or anything else like that. So it's all included in the original approvals over there.
that's fantastic. Thanks for that information.
Anybody else got any questions or issues? One thing that I did see in your site plan,
Mhm.
our parking spaces are 10 by 20. You're showing 10 or 8, 9 foot, 9 foot by, yeah, ours are 10 by 20, showing 9 by 20. Since it's a PUD and past history over there, we've allowed 9 by 20s over to Walmart, now those places also. We let them do smaller ones there, so I don't see why we wouldn't permit you to be 9 by 20s over there also.
Okay,
So just be consistent with development over there. It's the past history on this, so
okay, well, thank you for that.
I don't think of anything else that. I was a code official there when the project first started years ago, so Have institutional knowledge, I guess, of the parcel over there.
No, that's fantastic. Yeah, is there anything else? I did want to mention that we added a small kick out lane. Yeah, kind of if somebody accidentally gets in the drive-through lane and doesn't understand it, can circulate back out. Some places, yeah. So that's just kind of what that is. It'll be properly marked one way, do not enter, so that way we don't have, multiple people entering from different points into the drive-through. But I didn't want anyone to be confused that somebody would enter the drive-through lane kind of from that north entrance, the northwest entrance. That would just be for an exit for a car that accidentally got in there.
What are you looking at for seating inside?
That's a great question. I'd have to pull up our architectural plans. Gosh, I can't think it's more than. I honestly, I could easily get back to you with the exact specifications based on this prototype. The one thing I wouldn't want to do is give you incorrect information, but I'm happy to email Greg with the exact number tomorrow morning. I just don't have it in front of me, and I wouldn't want to end up speaking out of both sides of my mouth if I give you the wrong number.
Could be over 50.
I think it'd probably be close to that or right around there.
All right.
Their prototypes generally differ, plus or minus on that. Some of they've moved to because they have this kind of mobile order pickup window, they now have a little bit larger back of the house because more people are doing mobile and pickup orders. So they have less seating and more. So the numbers have fluctuated over the years when we've done them. But yeah, I can absolutely provide the specifics on this prototype.
Yeah, so when you do the submit to the town board for the preliminary site plan.
Yep.
Do a preliminary work layout for us also,
Yep.
just for that.
Absolutely. Would you guys like to also have, typically with that package, and I can look through the whole checklist, but just kind of speaking with you now, a full set of renderings, so that way you get a good idea.
Elevations, yeah, correct.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Board members, anything else? Questions, comments?
Nothing, I guess that this board can actually enforce or anything like that.
Mhm.
But I assume you've run in your truck delivery template through this without using the back entrance.
Yeah, that's absolutely, and that's one of the reasons we want that cross connectivity. It's just a much more simple turning movement, be able to go into the back and then go straight out. So I'm confident we're going to be able to get something worked out there. But obviously, if it's not able to be worked out, if Red Robin or whatever decides that this is not going to move forward, then what we'll do is certainly make sure any of the parking stalls, we might rework something and have that template overlaid onto a plan, so that way you all can be comfortable with the layout. We've done that many times, just because sometimes what you don't want is an island or a parking island that ends up, there are curbs that get run over and damaged and broken because a truck keeps hitting it and stuff like that. So we would definitely show our work, so to speak, in the turning templates.
That's just one of the things I just, like you say, you don't want to have that in front of your building either, so.
No.
Don't have it
No,
down.
and our client doesn't want that. Chipotle
Right.
would be all over us if their curbs were broken because their third-party delivery person, because it was designed poorly. That's our job. So
Couldn't get their truck in there.
exactly.
Yeah,
And same with trash enclosures as well.
yeah.
We show the we typically, when we get to that point, show based on whatever, if it's a front load or back load design, we'll make sure that there's proper turning movements and it's designed in such a way that it won't.
That stuff is done during the night anyway, so it's not like.
Yeah.
It's.
Yeah, it's almost always off hours. So yeah.
Yeah.
The only other thing that I've noticed, and like I said, this is nothing that the board can do because the road is not an access. But that's probably one of the worst designed locations for the entrance into the facility. Because it should be a T intersection, it should be across from the other one. But it just creates conflict points. There's nothing the board can do about it.
Yeah.
Because it's a thing, it's not we don't control the road.
Okay.
or anything.
You
I mean,
do, yeah, you do draw up a good point that it is a certainly a tricky intersection there. And we just have such a lack of frontage, you know, I think we're at 115 feet, so it kind of really hamstrings.
Yeah, it's what I know, that's what my business was before I retired and stuff like that, so that's one of the first things I pick up on.
Yeah, no, exactly, no, so we can, you know, is that what is the jurisdiction of it? Is that a county road?
I think,
The road you're coming out onto?
Yeah.
Now, that's just the interior road, that's,
it's a privately owned.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a privately owned, okay, that's what I thought, okay, and then, yeah, the county road's to the north, okay.
yeah,
Okay.
And then the Schmuck Sewer District over there, and he also is the Amara Water Board. Also, it supplies water to that, so it's a little bit different. It doesn't, Orsted doesn't supply the water. The town of Elmira Water Board does, so
Town of Elmira Water Board, okay.
Elmira Water Board.
And I guess this is a question, we haven't gotten to this point because we, as you know, obviously it's just a kind of a pre-application meeting. But in your understanding of this overall center, as a board, you know, we assumed that stormwater was accounted for.
Correct.
Okay, so we, you know, we'll obviously have our engineers dig into where we tie in and everything like that, but everything has been accounted for from a built-out perspective.
There's a drainage basin down toward east of that, and there's a swale behind the parcel.
Yep.
It takes everything down into the drainage basin that where the halls also into your crossing, so. And I see you're under an acre, so you won't need your own SWIP for that.
Yep.
Unless the Beaver decides to build another dam in there like we did that one year.
Should be pretty straightforward. I mean, still asked developable piece in that section, and you know. We assumed it'd be built out someday over there, so. Glad there's something you can fit in there, so.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There's, you know, with these types of projects, it's often, you know, the right time and, you know, the right tenant. And I think we've hit both of these and just in terms of that could fit on this, that, you know, I think as a quality, addition to this, shopping center. And, we look forward to bringing this before the board, the planning board and the town board. And, you know, certainly happy to answer any more questions, but I appreciate all of your feedback, and I think we look forward to moving this along and being back before you here in no time.
Sounds good.
Our goal is to get under construction hopefully this year, so.
Okay. So keep in touch with Greg.
Yep.
For submittals, and that way you can make sure you get on your meetings. Everything's got to be in 10 days before the meetings.
Yep.
No, we can look at them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We, yeah, like our, you know, it's always very funny with these, you know, tenants, drag their feet for 5 months just to get out to visit the site because they're, you know, the real estate directors in New York or whatever, in New York City. And then like, they're like, okay, can we get this by Q3? And you're like, well, that's not how any of this works, but I think our goal is to certainly get it under construction in 2025 if all goes well.
Sounds good.
Great. Well, thank you all for your time. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike. Talk to
Great.
you soon.
Thank you so much.
All right, moving right along. 481A, Erie Materials, 48 Philo Road West, site plan review. Shed loop extension. Are you with Erie Materials?
Yes, sir. I'm the manager there.
Okay, want to put an addition on the back?
Yeah.
Building,
Just a three-sided lean-to, basically.
30 by 82, is it?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. No, I'm sorry. Good. 30 by 50. Is the, okay, yeah. I was looking at that.
It's 82 feet 5.
Yeah, okay. We're gonna have to run this down through.
Yeah. Greg said it's not because it got covered, it would
Yeah.
just things that did it because of the cover. So like. See what it's,
We're gonna have to refer to the county and village.
Yeah.
And then. Go from there, did, do we have a full-size copy in the file for this?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I did stamp plans, Greg, this to work for this
to
meeting.
start here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, we gotta refer this to the county and the village, because the village is across the railroad tracks. We get a little bit. Bigger site plan. That we can refer out, that way, we won't hold you up, because I'm sure you wanna get this built. And that way, we could have the final approval at the April meeting on this.
Do you have a bigger plan available yet?
they're supposed to be giving us an action tomorrow, stamp plans.
We don't need the building plans, we just need the site plan.
Yeah, we just,
Yeah.
yeah, so if you get that, get it right to Greg, maybe he can get it down,
Okay.
get it out to the county and
Village
the
horses,
village and get that done this month.
yeah, so we can, April, that way.
We-
Greg, I first saw this,
Could be.
it was like a preliminary, and I said, no, let's just, we get the right plan and we can just. We gotta refer it out anyway, that way we don't hold you up for another month or two.
Okay,
So,
you need a site plan.
it's like this, is make it bigger to scale,
And stuff like
and
that.
something that, the board can look at. This is pretty good, we could probably blow it up and, and I think if there's any issues, there's existing site plans in the file for this also, if they need something to, compare to, so. Well, yeah, Greg, there should be an existing site plan in there for hearing materials, because they build on a couple, three
Number of
times,
yeah.
yeah, over there.
Yeah, we'll take a look for that. And I think I do have the ability to blow that one up and maybe put some clearer dimensions on it. So we'll make something good happen.
Yeah, that way we can get you going, because,
Okay, thank you.
well, we'll keep you on the agenda for next month. And we get it out quick, to referrals to the,
It's not really that.
village and county, that way,
Just like these.
we can get going, get approval in April.
Oh, could be.
So we need a motion
Right.
to refer this
This is
to
more of the existing building.
the, county and the, village of Horseheads.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Joe Atkinson.
Aye.
Al Curran.
Aye.
Ken DeCastro.
Aye.
Angela Hawken. Aye. Amy Crandall. Aye. Don Stevie.
All right, motion carried. See you next month.
Thank you, sir. Thanks, guys.
That pretty good.
Mhm.
What else you got, John?
After Greg and I talked a number of times and after pulling down probably 10 or 12 different short-term rental things, I decided that we don't need 6 or 7 pages to deal with short-term rentals at this point in time. Most of what the short-term rental things did were talk about what the building code required. You know, so you look at, you look at hotels and motels, and we don't do that for that at this point, so. I decided that we'd probably do it as a, consider doing it as a special permit procedure, which would be which would be this board would handle that procedure. Special permit procedure has an advantage because in order to start it, it needs a public hearing. So the applicant will have to send letters to all people, I don't know if it's 200 or 500 feet, probably 200. So we won't get in trouble with the neighbors not knowing what's going on at this point. And a lot of the issues, as you know, are building code things, it's maybe inspection and stuff like that, so. Put together asking for a plan. I did not say site plan because site plan pops us into a whole bunch of stuff that really probably isn't necessary for one of these. So I'd ask you to make sure you take a look at the number 4 in there to see what else you might want to see on a plan at that point. We've looked at the permit being valid for 3 years, and the reason for that is that these would require a fire inspection every 3 years. So there's just no purpose in dealing with them on a yearly basis if they continue at that point in time. If there's a complaint, then the code will have to go out and look at it at that point, but we can deal with it as on a 3-year term.
You want something in here dealing with revoking licenses or not?
We will have, because I'm working on other language that will allow the revoking the operating permit for special events, but I'm gonna put that as for the whole section, not just for the one thing.
They're all
So if they find a violation, they can immediately revoke the permit, the operating permit, and then bring it back to this board to reverse the special permit procedure. To take away the special permit, we'd have to do the same procedure that we do to give it. We'd have to call a public hearing and deal with that, but they could revoke the operating permit at that point in time. The reason for that in my world is I'd rather have them sue us than we have to sue them every time to get something straight. I don't want to sue them. Let them spend the money, let them sue us.
So they apply for a special permit and they meet all the criteria and all the neighbors don't want it. If they meet all the criteria, it's kind of hard to turn them down, right?
You really can't, no.
So it's a formality, really.
Yeah, it is. But if there's something brought in about the place or something that just doesn't fit, it won't, you can turn it down,
Maybe they don't have no parking, or
right?
they're gonna use bedrooms in the basement that don't have egress windows or something that would prohibit them from, then we could probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
having concerts every 2 weeks or every week, whatever. Complaints.
And it's not, if we were closer to the lake, we'd probably have a bigger issue, but we don't, we don't. We were talking, we're gonna get the people who wanna come to the area, they wanna be able to go north. And plus they wanna be able to go west, they wanna go to Quantum, they wanna go to Seamog, they wanna do something like that, so.
So is this gotta be the principal structure? The reason I'm saying that, because a lot of people are by converting their garage or putting a little cabin on their property and.
Yeah, we probably should deal with, maybe we have to deal with. I know up in Catlin, they have a woman who's going to do one of those mini homes on wheels that she's gonna then rent out as an Airbnb, so Probably we
Two
need
acres
some
of
sort
land.
of.
I got 2 acres of land, I'm listening.
Now, our code as it is. Talks about, let's see. Up here, but under general provisions, it talks about things that are. Campgrounds, trailer parks, whatever. That they have to go through a certain. Procedure, so we might be covered under some of that, but it might not be a problem to
Like he was just talking about though,
restate it.
what about like, cause I've noticed like these Amish, a lot of campgrounds will have cabins. You know, the small
they're-
Amish camp, stuff like that type of thing.
And that's more of a.
It's an accessory building, but
Yeah, I'm helping him up in Dix right now and. One guy's gonna put 4 900 square foot. Houses together on a property. And they're up near the racetrack, so it's. Makes sense, so they're not single family homes, there's just all rentals type of thing, so.
the one, like there was one I just saw not that long ago on Facebook Market, the guy's trying to sell. So a small cabin's got a refrigerator in it and that type of thing and. You know. I've been to campgrounds where they had those little things, they've got these sleeping areas, but they've got. Stoves and heaters and
Well,
refrigerators and TVs and.
what you run into problem once you get over so many units. If you get a well, then you all of a sudden now you're a community water system, you need proof from the New York State. For water,
I'm not even sure if those things had water in them. Those buildings,
I would have,
they had a public building.
so a lot of them though, if you end up putting bathrooms and running water and. All of a sudden you got. To deal with health department with that.
Yeah. I just. Like I say, I got 2 acres of land, I'm thinking. Not bad.
And down in Elmira, when I was still working down there. We had a place that was a B and B we saw online and it was a conversion of a 3rd floor of a building. Of a residence and that. They couldn't be occupied, it was an old attic, big old house that they snuck a. B and B and Airbnb into it, didn't meet code, it didn't meet setback or. The requirements needed a sprinkler system because of the height of the building and all that stuff, so. This will prevent some of that stuff from happening too. Now I know up in. A couple of these municipalities up in Schuyler, they limit the amount of Airbnbs they can have. So,
Yeah, we have a section in our general provisions of zoning that say. Mobile home parks, trailer camps, tourist camps, or similar facilities. May only be permitted after application for an approval. Of zoning and a planned unit development pursuant to Article 14. And shall be developed in accordance with. Provisions of said planned unit development district and chapter 132, which is mobile homes and. So that
kinda
gets
covers
us,
everything.
that gets us somewhere, yeah.
and that PUD is 3 acres, right?
Yeah, PUD, yeah, minimum is 3 acres, PUD, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh?
I said I might make that, I think I got about an acre of swampland that's next to me.
So you're just looking for us to read through this and come back?
Yeah,
up
come back
any
with some
changes we might want,
suggestions,
or-
and see if we can get things, yeah, so.
I've been working at the town of Dix a little bit, trying to help them out. And there's this. Greg's got experience with walk-ins and I'm working at Dix's going. Cause I wanna work to this for staff, requirements, so. Really puts a burden on. staff, and a lot of it's. Like Jen said, you don't need, make it simple, so, it's can be enforced, so.
It's not a good sentence. Number 5 is not really a good sentence, John.
Hmm.
What's
Number
that?
5 is not a very good sentence.
I don't care,
It looks like it's written by a lawyer.
don't care. I stole that from somebody else, and I really, no pride of authorship.
Again, this is just the first draft for this.
And Greg related a story of a tenant up in Watkins who rented a house and then turned around and started renting it out for the weekends as an Airbnb. May not have even ever lived there, just
Yeah,
rented it out, rented the house for $1,000 a month and rented it out for the weekends for
Self-rented.
$1,000 a weekend.
Sublet it.
Oh,
be surprised if people do it.
Well, you guys ran into the one too, right? Or the college student? In this area, wasn't it? Something about a college student and then he was gonna rent.
But I think you
Yeah,
get, yeah,
yeah, that was a house in Barrington, but we caught that before it happened. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
Start-
a LECOM student bought it and was gonna rent rooms out.
And that becomes a boarding house because you're.
Yeah.
renting. So-
Yeah, that was a hard no. But yeah, Tom, I do think that's a good thought to put something in there with regards to principal structure. And kind of to speak to what you were saying, Skip, was, if someone's gonna build something that's habitable, it's a lot of work to make a shed or a little structure habitable because it's like the old saying now, hunting cabins don't exist. If you're gonna build something, you have to build it to code, and that's quite the process, especially for something, built out of 2x4s. You're gonna spend a lot of money in that shed to make it right, so.
All right, anything else on this? We'll just carry this
yeah.
next month.
We can put it on and talk about it a little bit each month and get it done.
Greg, I gotta help Dix out by writing them a fire inspection form for them to use. And I'll give it to you too.
Okay,
For the
yeah,
Corrections. As a new guy.
those are always handy to have. For sure.
Good. Anything else on this? If not, motion to adjourn.
So move.
Call the roll, please.
Joe Atkinson.
Aye.
Al Curran.
aye.
Ken Castro.
Aye.
Angela Hawkins. Hi. Amy Crandall. Hi. Tom Skibby.
All right.
I find such a free shot thing.